It's time now to welcome one of our superstars who's about to take on the Watopia Cup. It's going to be a really interesting one. Leading the way is Sophie Coldwell, normally our blue jersey holder in Super League Triathlon. Of course, that means nothing now because no one can get into the water. Soph, welcome. I know you're in the middle of your warm-up. We won't keep you long, but are you ready for another Zwift race? Your first race of the year was a Zwift race, and now another one.
Yeah, I'm really excited actually. Never thought I'd be an e-Zwifter, but yeah, enjoying the e-racing. It's been really motivational at the moment. So yeah, excited to crack on again today.
And that tri race Zwift race you did last week, Soph, you were 1 second behind Flora Duffy. What did you learn from that you're going to bring into this week's race?
Oh, it was actually really interesting to kind of do. I'm glad I did that before today because it goes off hard, and I obviously everyone's been saying about how hard it goes off, but it went off even harder than I expected. So expecting that again to step up. Kind of used my power ups quite well, I think. I was tactful on which ones I kept and which ones I got rid of. And yeah, I've definitely checked the course out as well. So I feel like I'm kind of have a bit of an idea of where, I kind of starts to climb up a bit, and then how far they ask the power ups and things like that. So yeah, I feel like I've got a bit of knowledge for today.
There's a big question on this one, Soph, in terms of whether people are going to use the mountain bike or not, because the mountain bike we discussed earlier in the show is just that little bit faster on the dirt, but there is a 5 or 6 kilometre lead in on the tarmac. So what's your choice going to be?
I think I'm going to go for the mountain bike because I think when the race really hots up, you obviously want to be, you want to be in it with the right bike. But yeah, it's completely different situations that you just kind of choose your bike and off you go, whereas this you've actually got to think about it. So we've had some group discussions and stuff, so hopefully we've all picked the right one.
So when you say you've had group discussions, you've spoken with the other girls, are you all using the mountain bike? Because we had a bit of an argument over whether the mountain bike would be the best choice or whether you could actually swap out bikes when you moved across to that road section. But are all the girls using the mountain bike?
I'm not sure about everyone. I think the decision was left up to us ultimately, but it was definitely kind of hinted at that mountain bike would be a better decision. So I'm confident that most people would have chosen that.
Okay. So we've been obviously beaming ourselves into everyone's living room or wherever they are when they've been doing these races, and we've seen Georgia Taylor Brown look like she was in some kind of murderer's dungeon underneath her house, and Taylor Spivey was in almost looked like a hospital room. It was so white in Portugal. But your pain cave setup's pretty schmick. I've seen it on Instagram. You must be spending a lot of time in there, and it looks like you've got a really good setup because both you and your partner will be using it a lot.
Yeah, we were very fortunate actually. We actually moved house at the back end of last year, and there was a games room on the back of the house. And I mean, the guy was mortified over. We were like, oh, this would be really cool to turn into a gym. But thankfully, literally changed that over 2 weeks before lockdown. So yeah, have a room with all gym stuff, treadmills, bike set up, lots of fans because I guess it's warm doing Zwift. So yeah, really fortunate to have this literally on the back of our house. So yeah, it's definitely worth its weight in gold at the moment.
And I guess most of the time we're training indoors, or athletes are training indoors, preparing for outdoor racing. With all the time you've been spending in your pain cave, do you think there will be a strong correlation to being a lot stronger on the road when you do actually get back out there?
I hope so. I mean, I get a bit carried away on Zwift. A few of my longer rides have been a bit harder than they would be on the road. So hopefully through getting a bit carried away and riding a few too many races in the week, it should correlate over, but definitely have to do some bike handling skills before we race again.
It's interesting that you say that because on Zwift it's completely different environments going outside. You get all of your wattage and everything feedback to you. So it's the same for me. When I go for a ride, I'm going to stay in this zone, and then suddenly I think, oh, I could probably do a bit more, and then I get the power ups, and then I get a bit overexcited. How different is it for people who are used to riding outside? I mean, the gamification of it, the instant feedback of all your information, but also the power ups and the way you have to draft in the pack. It's a completely different experience, and we've seen people get on the wrong side of that, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, normally when we're training, there's a group of 5, 6 girls that train out of Loughborough, and we're very much long rides are nice and easy, and commit where we need to commit. Whereas I suppose on Zwift, you can find group rides to do every 20 minutes, and I think you don't get a bit wanting to finish top 100, top half of that, and then, you know, you just kind of start nudging up, you know, how hard you ride. Then all of a sudden there's a sprint and you're like, oh, I might as well try and get a green jersey because why not? So yeah, I end up, you know, putting those little efforts in through the week, which on one hand you've got to be careful with because it all adds up, and on the other hand it's great because it's keeping me motivated and doing some quality stuff on the bike.
Well, look, we'll let you get to the race, but before you go, it's so difficult for us to call this event because we're always looking for where the athletes are in the race. Make it easy for us. What's your plans going in? How are you going to attack it? Where do we look for you? Will you be on the front? Will you be sitting pretty? How's this going to go for you, and what should we expect?
Well, I'm going to go out pretty hard because I think if I want to stay in that front group, you've just got to commit from the beginning. So I'm going to do that, but I don't want to burn all my matches, you know, like within 5 minutes because then, well, I'm going to blow up for the end. Just going to try and, commit to that front pack, but I don't want to be on the front at all, really, because if I'm going to stay until the finish, I need to save as much energy as I can. So would like to be at the front group for the finish, but we'll see if I can hold on for the whole 2 laps.